Hello, everybody. A happy springtime to everyone, and welcome to another edition of the C.J. Howard Sports Talk Show. I'm C.J. Howard with you live. I'm by myself tonight. We're supposed to have co-host. Darryl was supposed to have been with me, but Darryl had a prior interview and some other stuff he had to do. So I am by myself, and glad to be with you on this, the next to the last show of season 5 of the C.J. Howard Show. We've got one more show next week. It will be a review of the show next week. So looking forward to that. But we got in front of us, we're getting ready for the boys' Sweet 16 state basketball tournament that will begin in Rupp Arena on Saturday, or this coming week, Wednesday. We've got the pairings, we've got the matchups, we've got everything you need to know. We're going to go over those there. We got 3 of the 5 coaches that we cover in this area. I could not get up with Danville's Christian head coach, nor could I get up with Lawrence County head coach. Tried. Busy people. I understand. But we will mention both of them teams. We do have 3 coaches on here that are going to Rupp Arena. We're going to talk with Ryan Bonner from Ashland here in about 10 minutes. Then at 8:30, we're going to talk with Coach Nate Valentine of the North Laurel Jaguars. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to talk to Breathitt County head basketball coach Jeff Honeycutt. Of course, Jeff and Nate will be playing each other because Breathitt plays North on Thursday afternoon at 11 a.m. in the morning, right to be followed by Lawrence County and Montgomery County will play each other right that next game. Then Mackenzie's going to join us. She's going to talk UK with us, girls Sweet 16, boys Sweet 16, and we've had a few coaching hires, and we've had a coaching vacancy open up. We're going to talk about that as well. If you would like to give us a phone call, I'll take your phone call, 1-502-849-9320 here on the C.J. Howard Show. Got a lot going on. The NCAA tournament's going on. Kentucky just advanced. So coming up, and I would guess this is going to be a late game Friday night because this is going to be their 3rd matchup. And if you remember, Kentucky beat Tennessee during the regular season, took both games in Thompson Bowling Arena and in Rupp Arena. So it is going to be one heck of a game. I know Kentucky just won. I'd be very curious to see if Tennessee's favored in this game. I think they will be. But not much, point or two. But I think they're going to be favored in this game. We'll have to wait and see when everything's done at the end of the night. We have, I think, 11 teams in. We're waiting for 4 more to punch their tickets. Then we'll have all 16 teams to next week's regional finals in each of the 4 brackets. All the seeds are 1s and 2s are still strong. We've had some upsets, not chaos like we've had in the past, but I think we still had some, I think, bracket busters, we'll say. So that's been big as well. Want to remind everybody too, we got the boys Sweet 16 starts up Wednesday. We just got done with the girls Sweet 16 back a week ago. Last week, Sacred Heart winning their 4th straight state basketball title. So congratulations to them. Our mountain teams performed well. North Laurel won a game, but that would fall short to the runners-up in this tournament, George Rogers Clark, who put up a good effort against Sacred Heart. And something happened down at the Sweet 16 in their sophomore. No class from freshmen and seniors ever won 4 consecutive state basketball titles. That is something achievable by these seniors at Sacred Heart. So, great. It was a good girls tournament, too. Attendance not as strong. I think our attendance was the middle of the pack. And so I do expect a blockbuster attendance coming up at the boys Sweet 16 this coming week. We got some great games. We've got a great field. a field of 16 that I think you have to say maybe Great Crossing's the favorite, but there's some teams in here making their first trip in a long time. We got some teams that have been here before. The bottom bracket, a lot of people think Great Crossing will come out of there. Top bracket, X, maybe Danville Christian. Danville Christian, they won 2 overtime games and then won the championship game coming from behind. So they're, and they won the All-A state title too. So, and we will be guaranteed a new state champion, and also we'll be guaranteed a new state champion on the boys' side because Lyon County did not win their regional final. Let's get you the matchups, actually. Go ahead and do that right now before we have Coach Bonner from Ashland. We got, speaking of Ashland, the opening game of the tournament will be at Bowling Green against Adair County at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. It'll be Jeffersontown versus St. X at 1:30. Then the day session will come to an end. The night session will start with Danville Christian battling South Oldham, and Ashland will play Callaway County in the nightcap. Then on Thursday at 11 a.m., it will be Breathitt County and North Laurel. Then at 1:30, it'll be Lawrence County and Montgomery County. Montgomery County is the Cinderella story of this tournament. They beat some very, very good teams to get here. They beat GRC on a 3-pointer at the buzzer on their home floor to get here. So, wow. They'll play at 1:30 on Thursday. The evening session is Great Crossing versus Davies County at 6 o'clock with Cooper and Henderson County to wind it up on Thursday at 8:30. So, this is going to be a fun tournament. I think this is one of those tournaments that it's going to see some good athletes. A lot of Division I stars in this tournament, especially Marino Kid from Great Crossing. Great Crossing, they remember what happened last year. They thought they were a whelming favorite to win this tournament, and they got sent home in the quarters. They don't want that to happen again. Of course, Harlan County was, I think, the team that put them, packing them home. They're in the quarters. So we'll have to wait and see. Friday, you got 11, 1:36, and 8:30 with the semifinals, 11 a.m. and 1:30 on Saturday morning Saturday day with the championship set for 7:30 there at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. A lot of basketball being played at Rupp Arena this week. Past 3 weeks, you had the girls tournament last week. Just got done with the Mid-South Regional there, where Tennessee and Auburn was all there for the last couple of days. And then the boys' Sweet 16 gets ready to start on Wednesday. Also, I want to remind everybody, too, baseball, softball going strong right now. We've had a lot of baseball this week. Some teams have already played 4 or 5 games already. Getting them in, playing them. And that's what baseball is all about. Weather has been pretty nice. Supposed to get a little rain this week. Temperatures might be a little cool. So we'll see how much baseball we get in this week as well. Looking forward to the boys' Sweet 16. And this is, when you got with a lot of people thought that this was the year that you was going to see not the Cinderella. We've got a bunch of Cinderella teams here, but we've got some teams here also that know they belong here. So it's going to be a lot of fun as well. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you can stay with me for the next couple hours. We've got some great guests coming up. We're looking forward to this. This is going to be fun. Of course, as I said, Coach Bonner is supposed to join me in just a little bit. No co-host, as I said. Darryl had a prior interview with another coach and was doing some other stuff because I think they're doing a tournament preview tomorrow night on the D&D Sports Network. You can watch us on the D&D Sports Network. You can watch us on Facebook. I believe you can also watch us on YouTube as well. Again, Kentucky wins. The women didn't win today. They lost. And they lost in strange fashion. They were down 1 point with 17 seconds left and could not. I still don't understand why they were shooting 30s. So they shot like 4 30s in the last 17 and a half seconds. Didn't understand why, but they didn't hit any of them. Then they missed a layup at the end of the game that would have won the game. So the women are done. Kansas State goes to the Sweet 16 for the first time. I think somebody said since 1980s. So, yeah, wow, and wow. So a lot going on. Now joining me is the winners of Region 16, head basketball coach Ron Bonner of the Ashland Tomcats. Coach, welcome.
CJ, thank you for having me, man. Good to do this again another year.
Tickled to death, but we're doing it under celebrational things because you're going to Rupp Arena. And I know that's been a common thread for your team the past years, Coach. But this year, this team a little more special because you had a team that you really wasn't for sure about in the preseason. You had some new kids you had to interchange in there, and it worked out for you. And you just controlled it like all season.
Yeah, and we had the foundational piece of Carter. We we did offensively and had several guys really step up offensively in a really beautiful way. The first one that pops into my mind, Caleb Clark, a junior, who averaged 12 points a game for us and shot daggone near 60% from the field on the season. He really had a breakout year. So we really just had guys that filled roles that needed to be filled in order to help us win.
You always play a tough schedule. I always look at your schedule. I know you're going to play a very difficult schedule. I feel like your schedule really benefited you after Christmas because you played a lot of good teams, and the 16th it wasn't as strong in the past as it's been, but still there were some teams over there that could catch you off guard and could beat you. But it seemed like you guys took care of business and never looked back. It just seemed like that this was one of those rare years that you had control of the region when it was really it was your region to have control of.
Yeah, we really hang our hat on strength of schedule. That's something that's very, very important to us as a program. We want to go out and play the best state because we want to exploit ourselves. Essentially, we want to figure out very early on in the season what we're not doing well and what we need to do better, and we also want to put our kids in. We want to put them in front of adversity very early on as well. That way, if you're fortunate enough to get out of your region and get to Rupp Arena, that you've kind of been there and done that. You've been through those adverse moments throughout the course of the season that help prepare you for essentially the biggest stage in high school basketball.
I looked at your schedule. You played a lot of prep schools this year. You played more schools out of Kentucky than I've seen you play in the past. And I know why you did that because there's some really good prep schools out there that prepare you for this circumstance. I know last year you probably felt a little disappointed in your first round exit at the boys' Sweet 16. You probably felt like that you could have made a big run last year. Talk a little bit about that and how these prep schools have really helped you.
Yeah, well, we're fortunate enough, based on our geographic location in northeastern Kentucky, to where we can cross the Ohio River and really play some really, really good basketball teams. One being George Washington High School out of Charleston, West Virginia. They played in their 4A state championship game today. Now, I didn't see a final score. I don't know if they won or not, but I need to look into that. But they did make it to their state championship game. Very well coached team, lots of talent. So we actually played them twice this year, and are going to play them twice again next year as well. And they're as good of an opponent as anybody in our area, consistently year in and year out. And then, going back to your last comment on the state tournament last year, obviously very disappointing loss, but against no question the best team in the state of Kentucky last year. Just a couple plays away from sealing it. Unfortunately, we couldn't close it out. but nothing to really hang our head on, because I thought that we did essentially everything we possibly could have done to put ourselves in a position to win that basketball game. And our guys fought incredibly hard. And I thought that we represented Eastern Kentucky last year in the state tournament extremely well.
Oh, you did. I listened to the game on the. We were. I was with Precinct helping them. We were down there and we were listening to your game, and we listened to every note of it, because it was such an exciting game, and it's a tough way to lose. And then I felt like that when I saw your schedule this year, I said, he's beat that schedule up to where we're going to be prepared when we get down there. Now, you play Callaway County, and you're going to have looks like the late game. Do you really care what time you play? Because sometimes I know you just want to get on the floor, but if you play in the late game, that means you're not going to have as much prepare time if you win in that quarterfinal game.
Well, what is good about that situation is if we are lucky enough to game against a great Callaway County team, we will have we'll have that next day off.
Yep.
And we won't play again until Friday. But at this point, and there's a lot of people that were kind of upset about having the 2-week gap between region tournament and state tournament, and I understand all that. But me personally, I love it because selfishly, it allows me to spend more time with our team, because I'm not ready for this to be over yet. So it's been very enjoyable to be in the gym every day with our guys.
And well, it also helps you too for preparing, like getting hotels, getting all your activities together, making sure that you got, because you rush to get everything together, you forget some things you might want to do, or forget some things that with this gap, you've had that chance to make sure everything is there, and then you ain't gonna forget nothing. So yeah. I mean, yeah, I think I liked it because it gives you guys a chance to prepare and know your opponent. I wouldn't mind seeing this every year. I mean, I know the girls sometimes have to play last, but you be fair to both boys and girls. I like this. I have no problem with this.
Yeah, I do too. And like you said, it allows you to logistically work everything out, get your hotel situated, meals, all that stuff, practices. We're going to go to Lexington Catholic on Tuesday and practice there. So it gives you ample time to get over the celebration of the regional tournament and get that out of your system, and then kind of come back in and focus for what's really important, and that's the Sweet 16.
Tough bracket in the top. I feel like I think Great Crossing probably the favorite in the bottom, but there's some teams down there that if they're not ready to play, they can send you home in a heartbeat. I'm really interested in two teams, St. X. I don't know too much about them, and I don't know a whole lot about Jeffersontown, but I do know about some of these names I've seen before. I'm used to you guys. I'm used to Callaway County. Danville Christian, of course, they're the All-A state champions. If you win, you would play the winner of Danville Christian and South Odom, correct?
I believe it's the winner of Bowling Green and Adair County.
Okay. Yeah, Bowling Green and Adair County. Because that's the one thing I don't like about the tournament, the time change. I know they try to help out the schools that are like further west and things, but I just wish they would play the bracket straight down 11, 1, 6, 8. Don't move the times around because you get lost when you're trying to figure out something.
Yeah. From my perspective, I'm just grateful to be there and to have the opportunity. I certainly see what you're saying, the point you're making, but for us as a program, it's just like, man, we're just happy to still be playing and have the opportunity to compete for a state championship. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good teams that, talking on St. X. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I've followed them. We were up there at King of the Bluegrass with them at Fairdale, and they were essentially dominant in that tournament. Went on to win the whole thing. They have a lot of depth, great coaching. That they're going to be a very, very tough out. But I know Coach Richard Duncan at Jeffersontown does a really good job. And I'm actually going to take our team over to watch that 1:30 game on Wednesday, just to kind of get our guys acclimated to the environment and get them into Rupp and let them get some of those famous Rupp Arena ice cream cones.
Oh Lord, Coach, yeah, they're so great. I could eat 2 or 3 of them at a time.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of seniors. I think you have two or three. You have 3. Yeah, basically the majority of this team's coming back next year. Plus, you've had your middle school team has really been developing. How do you feel that the structure right now in Ashland basketball, is it right where you need it to be? I know your younger group, your 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th kids strong, and your high school team, you just keep building every year.
Yeah, we're very, very excited. Of course, obviously, we're hate to see the 3 go that we're letting go. Xander Carter, who's a legacy player here at Ashland, people will be talking about him 100 years from now. Tyson Malone, who signed with Shawnee State University, a phenomenal player, has had a breakout season, honestly. And then Preston Hoskins, who's just been a deadly sharpshooter for us. So obviously upset to see those 3 go, but we are very, very, very thrilled about what we have coming back and what is filtering into our program. Our middle school has been dominant at every level. We're winning championships at all levels of our program, and there's talent everywhere. So it's really exciting as a coach to know what is coming, and we've got everybody involved, and it's exciting. And one of the great things about we've got great multi-sport athletes as well, guys that excel in multiple sports: football, baseball, basketball, track and field, just the whole gamut. So really excited about what's going on here.
All right, Coach. Let's talk about your opponent, Callaway County. What do you know about them? I know you've had a great amount of time to scout for and prepare. What are we looking for in this game, and what kind of game are we looking at?
Yeah, obviously they're 31-3. They've won a ton of basketball games, had a lot of success this year on the other end of the state. They have 2 elite players in Eli Finley and Jonah Butler. Eli Finley being their starting point guard, and Jonah Butler being a 6'6", 6'7" guard forward for him, who's going to Stony Brook. Both of them are averaging 20-plus a game. And Jonah Butler's averaging 10 rebounds. And, everybody likes to talk about those 2, but they also have guys around them that can absolutely shoot the basketball. So they pose a interesting threat for us because of the way they can space the floor and the way that they can attack the rim. Eli Finley is on film probably the best transition point guard I've seen all year in terms of being able to get rim to rim with the basketball. Really, really quick and athletic. So we're going to have to do a great job of transition defense, keeping the basketball out of the paint and then holding them to 1 attempt. If you were to ask me 3 keys, you got them right there. And then, they've got depth and they've got size at all 5 positions too. Gosh, they're big and strong and beefy and physical. So they pose an interesting threat to us. But, we kind of trust in our strength of schedule at this point because we've seen that and we've dealt with that all year long. So really nothing different for us at this point.
Of all the teams you played, who do they remind you of you played, mate?
I would compare them to George Washington out of Charleston, West Virginia, who actually just played in the 4A state championship game today. Because of their size and their physicality, the way they're able to drive the ball, and their physical defense. And we played GW twice this year and dealt with that several different times. And it's not easy for us, but like I said, we schedule the way that we do for a reason and prepare us for this Wednesday.
Yeah. Christopher Gregory mentioned in the comments that George Washington did win today.
Did they really?
Yes, they did win. So yes. So congratulations to them. West Virginia's got a weird system. I know they're not classes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
4A, and George Washington was 4A.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been an upset win for them.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, yeah, it's a big win for them. Yeah. It's good to play competition like that because those prep schools really get you prepared for what you're going to see this coming week. Coach, tremendous year. Can't wait to watch you guys play down there this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know that you'll have a big crowd down there. Ashland always packs the house when you guys come to Rupp Arena. The maroon everywhere. So looking forward to it. Any final comments you'd like to mention before you leave?
Well, first, thank you, CJ, for having me on again. I enjoy doing this stuff. And then secondly, I just want to encourage all Ashland community to come out and support Wednesday night. I would love to look up in the stands at Rupp Arena and see nothing but maroon and white. In my experience, that 8:30 session on the first night is normally one of the biggest crowds of the tournament.
Yep.
And that I'd love to look up there and see nothing but maroon and white because our guys deserve it, and they've worked for that.
Well, Coach, I believe they'll be right there supporting you, no doubt about it, and I'm looking forward to watching it. Coach, congratulations on winning the 16th region again. Congratulations to your team. Good luck to you against Callaway County, and we'll be watching you, and hopefully you can advance.
Thank you, CJ. Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it. Coach Ryan Bonner of the Ashland Tomcats as he gets set to play 8:30 on Wednesday as they play Callaway County. But again, thank you again, Coach.
Bye.
Now joining me, a friend of the show, and somebody that deserves the biggest well-being of anything, Coach Nate Valentine with the North Laurel Jaguars. Coach, great to have you with us. Congratulations. When we talked 3 weeks ago, you felt confident. Tournament full of teams that were, it was like the gauntlet. And your team stepped up, and you have to be proud of them.
Oh, I am. I'm super proud. Thanks for having me on, CJ. Always think a lot of you and the show and the job that you do. So excited to still be playing basketball
listen. I'm more tickled for you than anybody because you took a team at the beginning. You were really high on this team. You felt like that they were just a heartbreak away from breaking out, making that impact. And sometimes you want to get out of the shadow of. Reed was such a great player. Ryan was you want these kids to make their own story. And I felt like you guys did that in this tournament. Because you beat three very good basketball teams.
Yeah. When we talked 3 weeks ago and I talked about that, like we had, I think 7 of our 10 losses, we were in a great position to win the game, and I felt like we were very close to sitting here being a top 10 team in the state and really felt that way. But it just, our guys really stuck together and started making winning plays in the last minute when we needed to. And that kind of got us over the hump. But yeah, just a tremendous road to get here. Corbin had beaten us twice already earlier in the year. And then we come back and get them and then play the defending champion Harlan County with Maddox Huff. He's one of the best offensive players I think that we've coached against in a long time, and get that one in overtime and then play, another South Laurel team that beat us twice earlier in the year and our guys fight back and win in overtime and had to come from behind in both of those games. So I think our guys got it. They have a ton of heart and a ton of desire, and, that'll take you a long way this time of year.
Yeah. I was trying to keep up with it on Facebook. You guys have a Facebook page that was doing the audio, and I was listening to it, and I was excited for you. I was pumped because this tournament had so many twists and turns because it was one of those tournaments where we talked to John Henson all 8 teams could win this tournament, and anybody can win it. And we saw some games that were, I think, unique in its own way. But you see, I tell you what, Coach Jarvis really packed you, especially in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And that's what a senior is supposed to do. And I felt like that he just, I'm gonna put you on my back, and we're going. We're just gonna go and talk about, because he was so good in this tournament.
Yeah, he was tremendous. I mean, he's our only senior, and stuck with us here, in kind of the rebuild, like you said, after Reed and Ryan left, and 8 or 9 other guys left with him too. It really was a complete rebuild, but we felt good about what we had coming up. A lot of times when you have a lot of seniors, those younger guys don't get to play as early as maybe they would like, or maybe that they probably deserve. But they hung in there. We took our lumps last year, and felt like maybe we had a chance to steal it last year and came up a little bit short. But, they worked extremely hard, and Cole's just been that steady force for us. He's a tremendous golfer and always a little bit late coming on in the season, coming out of golf. But we knew that if we just stuck with him, January, February, March, he would come up big. And then, he hits a big shot to tie the game to send it to overtime against Harlan County, and just tough as nails. I think our guys look up to him. He'll do anything anything you ask of him, and just an ultimate team player, ultimate program guy. And, we've leaned on him a lot. When we need a bucket, clutch time, he's 1 and 1A on the list. We know you can get it to Cole, and he's going to make something good happen. So just super happy for him and the stretch run that he's had here.
Also, Reese was big in especially in the Harlan County game. He really kept you in the game for 3 quarters. He packed you guys, and then Cole was helping him, but then Cole took over in overtime. At the end of the fourth quarter, and then in overtime, and then it seemed like in the South World game, they were like a duo. They were just taking over, we talked about your schedule. We always say that playing these tough schedules pay off in the long run. Well, it paid off more for you than I don't think you realize, because you played some teams that are in this state tournament already. Played Jeffersontown. I think you played a couple of, and this Breathitt County team you're getting set to play. I know you've had plenty of time to break the film down. You're getting ready to play probably one of the most. I tell you what, he's a very underrated player, because this kid can shoot the basketball, but not shoot it. He can take it to the rim, and if you don't cut him off, he can have 30 and you won't know it. And so I know we'll get to that in a moment, but I want to talk a little bit about how your schedule sort of got your kids thinking, okay, hey, we can do this. I know we can, and it paid off for you in the long run.
Yeah, we got a win over J10 early in the year, and then had Callaway, another Sweet 16 team. That was one of those games that we felt like we were in a position to win and didn't close it. We played some really good teams with Madison Central and Lexington Catholic early in the year that obviously got a lot better. But when it really, we were in all those games, and I felt like we had a shot to win. But when we were able to go to Boyle County, go to Madison Central, and then to Pulaski and win, all teams that I thought had a chance to win the region, I thought, we can do this thing. So we just had to put it all together, and play a complete game. And it's still a young team with 1 senior, So I think it just took a little extra time than maybe we had hoped. But yeah. Just a tough schedule, it's painful to go through as you're going throughout the season. And sometimes it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you play a game and then you look up and say, who do we play next? So we're going to Madison Central, or we're going to Pulaski. And, even going to Corbin late, you got South Laurel, who obviously had a really good team this year. It was just like every single night was a game like, hey, we're going to have to really play to have a chance to win this game. So I think that sharpened us in the end. And, I don't think many people had us getting past that first Corbin game in the region tournament, but we just felt like we had played well enough all year. We played well enough competition that, a couple balls bounce our way and we get a few breaks here and there. We can be right there at the end, and just felt like we had a team that could win 3 games in a row, due to the schedule that we played. And like I said, it's not a lot of fun to go through. You know, we're going in the state tournament with 10 losses. But, you know, anything can change. I told our guys that, you know, in 2001, I think Lafayette was maybe a game over 500 and ended up winning the state championship. And, you know, kind of talked to our guys about that. Like, it can turn. Bounce of a ball can turn your season around. And our guys just kept fighting and digging, and just super proud to be in this position.
Coach, you were talking about how your team believed. Not a lot of people believed in you. Well, I know some people believed in you. Your fans, the team, your cheerleaders. That was anybody in North Laurel. They believed that you guys could do this. I felt that anybody that was in this 13th region tournament had a chance to win the tournament. They just had to, like you said, get a bounce here, get a bounce there, and you got that because you were able to. When you talk about how, especially in the Harlan County game, early on things are not going as great as you wanted to go, but you just wanted to tread water because the more you tread, the more Harlan County was going to start tightening up. And I felt like that, especially in the fourth quarter, your guys started saying, "Ooh, we can do this now," and it just seemed like they took the game over. And Harlan County forgot that they needed to finish, and they didn't because your guys finished and they didn't. And I felt like that was just the difference in the game.
Yeah, we've I think early in the year we were probably a little too one-dimensional, and that was on me. But now we've got so many other guys that have stepped up, and we're putting 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures. You talk about Reese and you talk about Cole. Also Jordan Rollins, against Corbin comes out and lights it up for us. But he does a great job stretching the floor for us. And then Cooper Elza, scores the only 6 points in overtime for us, makes free throws, controls the ball, guards Maddox Huff, guards the other team's best player. Just did a tremendous job. A guy like RJ Noble. Doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but we're so much better with him on the floor, and because of the fight that he brings and the energy and passion that he plays with. And then we've gotten really good bench play too. With Cam Anderson comes in and just a tough, gritty player, multi-sport guy that'll do anything that he has to do to win. Corey Cunningham off the bench, another one, got some big buckets. So we've gotten it from a lot of different places, and just a super unselfish team. And just kind of allowed those guys to all go make plays and make it a little more equal opportunity for everybody. And I think it's paid dividends for us.
And I don't want to overshadow what's going to happen this week, but I'm excited for you next year. You got to come back. Plus, you had a really good 7th and 8th grade team that was loaded with talent. So, I mean, listen, there's nothing but high skies for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I hope so. We're going to enjoy this one and try to squeeze all the juice out of this one that we can. It's high school basketball in 2025. You never know what year to year can bring, but I really like the guys that we have in our program right now. And like you said, our middle school coaches down there do a great job. They play a ton of games and do a really good job. And freshmen and JV coaches do a great job too, developing those guys. And I think it's another reason we got a lot better this year is the guys that we're practicing against every day. We've got, again, some guys that probably deserve to play some minutes, but it's just, one possession games. Who do you take out? And you kind of go with who you got. But we've got some guys that are pushing the other guys, and our practices are extremely competitive every day because of the effort that those guys put into practice every day and the preparation and getting that first group ready. So, we feel like we've got some depth, and we can maybe even use a little more depth in the state tournament than we've used. That's been the great thing about having 17 days off is you can really you can make a lot of strides in 17 days. So if you're going to go up there and win the thing, you got to play 4 games in 4 days. So, everybody, all cards are on the table, and I think we have a lot of quality depth that, we can use at any time.
I asked Coach Bonner, I'll ask you, did you like the week off?
It was great in terms of being able to reset and enjoy it. Our girls program won and on Saturday, and then they had to get right to it, and they played on Wednesday, I believe. So it was nice being able to do that. And then we went through a little bit of sickness too, and I'm sure everybody else is dealing with the same. So we were fortunate to have that break and hopefully get everybody healthy, by Thursday nights. But just getting everything taken care of, everything that goes into it with hotels and going to the elementary schools and doing all that, that's all great stuff. But I think it takes a lot out of your team. So being able to really get back in, and we went hard for 2 weeks, took a day off, and then practiced again today and got back with our preparation for Breathitt County just like we would during the regular season. So maybe a little shorter, but we're super excited about it.
Let's get into this game. I'm excited. It's going to be a great game. Listen, I think it's going to be the best game of the whole tournament. I think that you guys are two evenly matched ball clubs. Austin Sperry, you've seen the video. You know about this young man. Premier scorer. Can score outside, score inside, can score on the dribble. When Breathitt's good, when they can get a couple of more double-figure scores. A lot of people have had problems keeping Austin in front of them. What are you going to have to do to be able to guard him? I know that you can't focus just on him because the Terry kid can score. The Honeycutt kid can score. They can – listen, they have come a long way. I feel like their season turned when they went to Florida, won that big tournament. They came back. They were a totally different team because Austin let things come to him and he let his other mates help him, just like I think some of your guys have done that during the season. Mm-hmm. So what's it going to take to stop this Breathitt County team? Because they're well deserving to be here. They beat a good Hazard team, played them 5 times. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, and they couldn't do it on the 5th. So I love this matchup. Talk a little bit about it.
Well, Breathitt County's really good. They won a lot of games. They have only 8 losses, but 4 of those came to Hazard. And they were in all of those games. I think one kind of got away the first one, but the other one, came down to 1 or 2 possessions at the end of the game. And the other thing about Breathitt County is you look at their losses. They probably had a starter out in every one of those games. They've dealt with a lot of, I don't know if it was injury or sickness, what it was, but just looking through the box scores, they're missing a guy. And when you're losing a guy against a really good team like that, it can be, it can be magnified. So Coach Honeycutt does a great job. All year I kept hearing about this Austin Sperry kid from Breathitt, and we just never. We never had the same opponent, so I didn't get to watch him on video at all and just saw a few highlights. But, man, when you have 17 days off and you get to just sit down and watch all of one team, I was pretty wild. The first game I watched was their region championship game, and he was tremendous all through the region tournament. And for a guy that doesn't, quote-unquote, shoot it very well, he makes a heck of a lot of threes, and hard threes too. He shot the ball very well in the region tournament and makes hard threes. Just a tough kid. He's one of those guys I think you would love to have on your team because he's such a competitor, but it's not only him. They got the 2 other kids with Honeycutt and Collins. Those guys can make threes. And then, like you said, Terry inside and the other big kid inside. Like, they've got 5 really good guys. They remind me a lot of probably a mixture of Harlan County and Clay County where, if you don't come in there ready to fight on Wednesday, like, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have to get in a fight early, and that's what I told our guys. Like, it's going to be physical, and you're going to have to jump in that thing and go to war early. But Sperry just, he does some things that are just unbelievable. He's getting 2 or 3 dunks a game, and it's on guys. It's breakaways. He's throwing it. He's shot faking and throwing the ball off the backboard to himself, alley-oops to himself, like things that most guys in the 13th and 14th region don't do. He does, and obviously he's a Division I player and committed there to, I think, IU Indy. But they've got a good one, and they're really good, and they're playing good, and it's going to be a battle. And I've made sure to relay that to our team, the importance of being ready to go, because they can play.
I feel like a lot of people forget when they're playing Austin that because I've been I'm 14th region that's where you have to stay in front of him. It can't take just one person. People don't realize it takes you're going to have a lot of help. Sometimes you may have to sag off more because I feel like when they get 3 double-figure scores, they're going to win the game. Majority of the time, they've won a game when they've gotten 3 double-figure scores. If they get anything less than that, then you got really a chance of beating them because that means Sperry's probably shooting most of the shots. And that means that means you can help out. Defensively, I feel like you're a lot better defensive team than what Breathitt played a little bit here. So talk about. I mean, you're just going to have to. What's it going to take to stop him and this whole team? When they get rolling, it's hard to stop them because we saw in the region that it seemed like when they played Prairie, they were not ready to play early, but then they came on late. In the Powell County game, they just took care of business, and then they knew the Hazard game was the one, and then they just showed off in that game because they were just making play after play. Yeah,
I mean, with Sperry, he's like I said, he's so hard. I mean, he makes such tough shots. If you watch those region games, he's shooting step backs and he's shooting 23, 24-foot threes, and then he's getting to his pull up. And if you let him get in the paint, you're toast. You're not going to stop him in the paint. So, he'll post up some. He's just so versatile in what he can do. But that's the other thing is okay, you're gonna focus in on him. Okay, then Collins and Honeycutt are gonna have a field day, and then if you help up from the post, he's gonna dump it down to those guys. So I don't know that you're gonna stop him, quote unquote, stop him. It's like Maddox Huff had 15 against us, and it's like we put 4 guys on him sometimes, and the guy still gets 15. So Austin Sperry's gonna score. That's what I told our guys, like he's gonna make some. He's gonna step back and probably make a 24-footer with 2 guys on him, but you're going to have to keep playing. You just got to play through that. So we just have to make it as tough on him as we can and not let those other guys go crazy either. And, okay, you do get him to miss. You got to get the rebound. That's the other thing. I mean, those 2 posts, Terry will go after it. The other kid will go after it. And then you got Staller coming off the bench, who shot it really, really well. So, it's really not just a one-man show with them. You got to respect everybody, and you got to be able to sit down and guard. And I hope I feel like we've gotten better down the stretch in terms of guarding the ball one-on-one and doing some different things. But we just got to make it tough on him, and then we got one shot. That's the biggest deal is you got to get the rebound. When he does miss, you have to get the rebound.
Oh, you definitely if you don't rebound, you're in trouble because they'll kill you on the glass. They're such a good rebounding team. That's what they hung their hat on in the region. They rebounded the ball so well. That you have to rebound. Well, Coach, I'm so tickled for you. I was cheering my heart out for you when you guys won. You know how I feel about you. You're one of my favorite people. I'm glad that you and Tim get to go back. I know you can't do this. You can't do these things without him because he's your right hand man. But I'm so tickled for you guys. It just seemed like that you guys were destiny for this, and your kids found a way to get it done, much like Breathitt County did. You 2 are 2 destiny teams that, I mean, I can be honest. I'm going to sit here and a lot of people, nobody had Breathitt versus North Laurel playing 11 o'clock on Thursday morning at Rupp Arena. But that's the why you play the game. And I'm excited. I can't wait for this game. I can't wait. I really can't because this is going to be so much fun. And I'm even looking forward to the second game, Lawrence County and Montgomery County, because Montgomery County. Listen, you win, you got to turn around and play a Montgomery County team. Listen, they were picked preseason. I hope I'm not wrong. They were picked preseason like 8th. I know GRC was way ahead of them. Mason, all those other teams were way ahead. And what a year they had. And then Lawrence County had to win a super regional to even be here. So it seems like that side of the bracket, them 2 games are teams that, those 4 teams were not even written in there. And it's great to see this is what it's all about. This is why the boys Sweet 16 is so special.
Yeah, Montgomery's playing really good right now. Obviously, they got, added Reed there late from Mason, and he adds another gear to them. He's one of the better point guards in the state right now, and they already had a really good team. So you throw him into it, again, and GRC's kind of had the upper hand in that region, obviously in the last little bit, but again, close games all the way through. I think they had 1 triple overtime game, but they're playing really well. I haven't got a chance to see Lawrence County much, but I hear they can really score the ball. Everybody says they have 5 guys that can all drive and shoot. So.
They remind you a lot of McGoffin County from last year. I don't know if you watched McGoffin County much last year. Yeah. They remind you a lot of them.
So we've all had a challenging road to get here, and then it's all about how do you handle the 2.5 weeks that you've had off, and who can handle playing under the bright lights and playing in the environment of Rupp Arena, and who can handle that, and who can be themselves and come out and play. But one of those 4 teams are going to be playing on Saturday morning. That's kind of the goal is to get there one at a time, take care of the task at hand, and then it's like I told our guys, you get to Saturday morning, anything can happen. But you got to win the first one. You got to win the first one, and that's the one that we've struggled with the last 2 times that we've been there. So I think it would be great, for the first team in North Laurel history to go win a state tournament game on the boys' side. I think would be awesome for our guys, and we're going to have to be really, really good against Breathitt County to move on.
Well, at least you get a day to prepare. Then you can go watch the games, let your kids see how the games are being played, how they're being officiated, how everything's going on there. So, it's just going to be a tremendous event. I can't wait. This is one of the funner state tournaments. I think this is just on paper, because there's probably, I think Great Crossing and Callaway are probably the 2. Jeffersontown, along with St. X, are probably the 4 that everybody looks at. But is there a Harlan County from last year that made that run to the final? Is there a Lyon County that nobody really wanted to talk about, even though they did have Mr. Basketball? Mm-hmm. I think this tournament can have something for everybody.
Yeah, it's I think it's wide open. Obviously, St. X and Great Crossing have probably had the upper hand on everybody all year, but St. X has got to deal with J-Town first, and J-Town's really good, and it's a tough bracket all the way down. Even Great Crossing's got a tough first round matchup. So it's about who can string together 4 good games. And you got to have quality depth, and you got to be able to rebound the ball and guard the ball and keep it out of the paint. And the team that does that and makes shots is the team that'll be celebrating on Saturday night.
Yep, cutting the nets down. That's what your goal is, Coach. Congratulations again. I'm so tickled for you. I can't wait to see you guys play. You guys play at 11 a.m. And Thursday morning. So you'll have to get them out of the bed, give them a little breakfast, and be prepared to get ready for a battle. Because listen, I do believe this is going to be one of the better games of the entire tournament. Anytime you get 2 mountain teams, especially get down there and playing each other, I think you see more star power come out, and it's just a lot of fun. And there should be a great crowd there for that third session, because you got 3 mountain schools playing and Montgomery County. There'll be a lot of people there to watch. That'll be so great. Coach, thank you so very much for being with us. Nothing but the best of luck to you in this tournament. I'll be watching from here, and I wish I could be down there, but can't be. So hopefully I'll get to watch it here, but I'll be rooting you on every step of the way.
Well, I appreciate that, CJ. And again, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you more than you know.
Well, Coach, good luck to you guys. You have a safe trip down this week, and try to bring back the trophy if you can.
Got it. We're going to try our best.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Nate Valentine with the North Laurel Jaguars as they get ready to play Breathitt County on Thursday at 11 a.m. I think one of the best games in this tournament. And by the way, Christopher, you called a minute ago. If you want to call back, I can take your phone call right now. It was hard to take a phone call right in front of me talking to Coach. Also, let me make a correction. George Washington lost by 2 points today. So they lost by 2. I looked at the wrong score. I looked at the semifinal one. They lost by 2. So, all right. We're going to be joined by Jeff Honeycutt in just a moment. Then McKenzie's going to join me at 9:30. Let me go over some notes here. Let me go back to my notes here. We've had a couple of coaches hired. Jackson County boys and Lynn County boys have hired coaches. I will give you their names next week. I didn't know Jackson County was needing a boys coach. I found that out from my good friend Ryan Farmer. But they've got a new coach. Lynn Camp has a new coach. I will get their names next week, and I will give them to you. Whitley County girls have an opening, And we were stunned this week by the surprise of resigning of Coach Eddie Melton from Leslie County football. Coach Melton decided to hang his whistle up. And I just want to say real quick that Coach Eddie Melton is a very good man, good family man, great individual. He done a really good job with the Leslie County High School football team. 15 seasons there, accomplished a lot, had a lot of great talent run through there. Coach, I want to congratulate you on your what you did at Leslie County High School. I also want to say that I hope in your next endeavor that you're happy with what you're doing. A lot going on there. A lot going on with the. They just got done with the NCAA tournament representing. That's why the boys Sweet 16 was a week later. Really, I think this benefited the coaches more than it did anything. Like I said, I tried to get a hold of Danville Christian and Lawrence County's coaches, but I couldn't get a hold of them. They're busy people, and I understand that. So, Lawrence County plays Montgomery County right after the Breathitt North Laurel game on Thursday. And then, let me see. I'm trying to think. Danville Christian plays on Wednesday, and I think they play the 6:00 game. So, looking forward to that. Jeff Honeycutt's going to join us in just a moment. We're going to talk about his team as they were a totally different team after Christmas. And we're going to talk about everything after from the last Christmas tournament till the end of the tournament. And I want to find out something because I'm thinking, I don't know. I know Austin had 30-some in the opener, and he had 30-some in the championship or 20. He might have set a record for an individual scoring from person. I don't know. I need to find that out because he scored a lot of points, and it was very impressive. Joining me now is the 14th Region champion head basketball coach. Seems like I say that all the time when I'm talking to Mr. Honeycutt. Jeff Honeycutt with us. Because Jeff has done what very rare people have done in their lifetime. Won a regional title in boys and girls. And it's just a phenomenal feat. Coach, welcome.
Thank you for having me, CJ.
Tickled to death. Congratulations. I see you're a lot calmer now. A lot more patient. Before we get into the region and talk everything, how's your team? How healthy are you? And I just got done talking to your opponent, Coach Valentine, who I really respect. Listen, a great guy. They have a great team, and you're a great guy, and you have a great team. This is one of the most exciting games I've ever looked forward to.
Everybody's healthy. It's been a long layoff, and just trying to condition and stay in shape. We practiced at Atlas Lloyd today, and then we've been up at Lee's College. Was actually up there this afternoon, and just trying to get the feel for the bigger court. We've got a tough task ahead of us playing North Laurel. They're really good. They shoot the three exceptionally well. Reese Davison's 6'8". He's a phenomenal player. We've got our work cut out for us. I hope we can go and compete and have opportunity to win.
Let's start with where you guys have come from this year. No stranger. It's no story. You guys have had a long, hard year. Beginning of the year, you had to transition football, get your football players back out. Austin gets hurt, gets nicked in the last game of the football. He's not real healthy early, and, we saw that. But you guys, I felt like, changed your whole gear when you came back from Florida, when you won the Florida tournament and you came back. I felt like that was a whole different team. Talk about that, because I feel like that's where your team changed. And
we did. We had several spots that I thought the season turned and changed for us, and definitely coming back home from Florida after winning a good tournament there. You know, we played 3 really good teams and was lucky enough to come out victorious. And the bonding with the players and being around each other for 4 days really got them closer. And then we got healthy. You know, Austin, like you said, got hurt in the last football game. We had a couple other guys with ankle injuries, had one with mono, and it was one of those things, you know, we really didn't get healthy until after the All-A, actually. You know, I thought we played well in the All-A, made it to the finals, and, you know, pushed Hazard to the brink, and then, you know, they had answer for us, and we couldn't get by that. And then I thought we played well down the stretch. You know, we went over to West Virginia and played 2 really good teams in Pike Central and Cable Midland and on the college floor. And I thought that was a great atmosphere for us. And, you know, it was Murderers Row down the stretch. You know, Perry, Powell, Knott, Hazard, those teams to end the season and get you ready to make a run at a regional title.
All the talk was about 5 games with Hazard. Everybody felt like it's going to be hard to beat a team 3 times. We very rarely will you see a team beat somebody 3 times. You have to be extremely – listen, you have to have both luck and skill to do it both. Guys played Hazard 5 times. We'll get to the other game in a moment. But you had to feel like that each time you played Hazard, you felt –
It did. It got closer each time. You know, I felt like we got comfortable, and you know, Hazard's exceptional. You know, Coach Allen, you know, he's legend. Then, you know, Evan Everso, a great player, Seth Caldwell, Nick Ratliff, Dalton Combs, Johnson kind of gets lost a lot of times, but Tucker, you know, he's a rebounder, defender, and then you got Kincaid off the bench, Ridge Beverly off the bench, Kenyon Higgins. You know, it was just one of those things to, you know, the more we played, I guess, the more comfortable we got, and you know, each team knew what was going to happen, and you know, they made shots the first 4 games, and then I thought in the 5th game, you know, we made shots when we didn't in the first 4. You know, in the 3rd quarter and late in the 4th quarter, you know, we made some big shots and just held on at the end. And you know, we were blessed to do that, and you know, it was a heck of a run.
I know that you. I want to put this in a way that don't. I felt like that Austin probably had one of the greatest individual efforts in tournament history in the 14th region. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody put 30. I don't know what he had against Powell. I think he had 30-some against Hazard. The numbers he put up and the rebounds and the assists, but the stuff that he did, it seemed like that he just packed the team and then the team followed and then everybody else did their job.
Yeah, it was. You know, Austin's a phenomenal player. You know, he don't only score the ball, but he defends and you know, been on team all year about that, defending better. And I thought he got locked in down the stretch and started defending better. You know, running the team, his turnovers was low. And that's what we were talking about, decision making and making better decisions. And I thought, you know, the last 4 or 5 games of the year, you know, I thought his decision making not only on the offensive end but the defensive end was really good. And then you had big play from our other guys, and it was all timely. You know, it was different guys at different times. You know, first round of the region, Aaron Stallard stepped up and played really huge for us. and Braxton Terry. And then in the second round, it was Peyton Collins with his play and still steady play out of Aaron off the bench, and Brantley Campbell come in and played well off the bench for us. And then Joe, his stat lines wasn't great, but he does things that, in one game he had 7 assists, and that helps, and then defends. And then in the championship game, Kanan come up big defensively, a lot of stuff that don't show up again in the stats, but his defense was really important for us. And then Braxton was steady again, and Peyton had a real good game. And then Joe hit some really big shots. You're old enough to remember Danny Manning and the Miracles, and I referred to that as Austin. He relied on his teammates too. He was killed in the fourth quarter against Hazard, and he put the ball in his teammates' hands, and they come through for him because of the confidence he had in them.
Yeah, but his run in the 3 games that he had was unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen one individual have that type of output.
Yeah, it was. He led us, and he showed why he's one of the best players in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, he's already signed too, right?
Yeah. He's committed to IU of Indianapolis. Used to be IUPUI, but they changed the name. But it's there in Indianapolis.
That'll be a good place for him to go. He'll fit in very well with them. Can't wait to watch you play. Coach, let's get into this game with North Laurel. We talked to Coach Valentine. You both have had a great opportunity to sit and watch each other's films. You guys know what each other's and Coach Valentine was really, really respectable of Austin. He said Austin's one of the better players that he's seen in a couple of years. That come, as far as playing, things he needs to do to make his team better, but he also knows his team, he has to let his team help him. And he thinks he said Austin was a very smart player. This is going to be a good matchup. I told Coach Valentine, this is the game I'm looking forward to. This is the game I think it's going to be the best game on the bracket. Tell me what you have to do if you want to beat the Jaguars.
Well, we've got to limit their threes. They shoot it really well. I think they're averaging seven made threes a game. We got to limit those. They shoot it exceptionally well. They're up around 40% as a team. That's unheard of. Then we can't turn it over, and because they turn turnovers into quick makes. So, and then we got to rebound, keep them no second chance points, or as few as we can. Limit that. And defend, and hopefully
it's gonna be a good matchup. It's gonna be a really good matchup between Reese and Braxton inside.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a really good battle.
The good news is we're not the favorite, so we're going to go in and play that role big, and hopefully all the pressure is on them, because I'm sure it's one of those deals that. But Austin's been there 2 out of 3 years. Braxton and some of the other guys has been there, so hopefully that'll help us through the early jitters that we'll have. And Coach Valentine does a great job. And they've got a real good club. Jervis runs the team really well. Senior laden team, and then Rawlings shoots the lights out. He's tough. It's one of those deals. Noble, you got to keep him off the glass. All those things are easy said, but it's a whole lot harder when you hit the floor. And we hopefully get through the first 3 or 4 minutes and get the jitters out. And I'm hoping to make it a good ball game. We've got our work cut out for us, though.
You're in a bracket too where you got a great opportunity to get to Saturday morning if you can win your first game, because you got Lawrence County and Montgomery County waiting there in the next round. Both are good teams. Montgomery County's coming a long way. Picked up the young man from Mason County late in the season. There's really helped them out. And then Lawrence County had to win a super regional to even be in this tournament. And
Lawrence is one of these teams in a normal situation, they wouldn't have been there. And that is a true March Madness moment. and they got hot at the right time, and they're playing really good. Montgomery is too. You know, them and Clark County was an instant classic. Last second three to move on. And the thing is, you know, when you get to the final 16 teams in the state, everybody there can play, and it's one of those deals. You know, it take one step at a time, and you know, we've got to make sure that we're ready for North Laurel here Thursday morning at 11.
Yeah, but you get a day. You get a day to go out and watch some games, practice, let the kids see what they're going to see, enjoy themselves a little bit before you play. So I think that's going to help you out too.
Yeah, we plan on that, going up Wednesday, watching the sessions on Wednesday, and getting the practice in Wednesday afternoon, and then get dinner and get ready for go over some game tape, last minute stuff, and make sure we know what our job is, and get up Thursday morning and hopefully, you know, we got to play hard and represent the 14th region well. You know, it's about an unforgotten region anymore, but you know, we can play basketball here in the 14th.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because this region's because nobody believes that the 14th region can win a game at the state tournament, and eventually they're going to win one. I thought we were going to win last year. You know, Montgomery County. Let's talk about them a second, because last year they were a team that qualified from a super regional. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I know you've always been honest. Would you like to see the super regional come to our region? Because look at your last two champions in the 15th; both have come from the super regional.
It would make it interesting. I wouldn't mind one year of it and see how it goes. But you know, I'm a old school type guy. I like to earn your way in and stuff. But that's why high school basketball is the greatest show, or high school sports is, because you only have to be good one time. You don't have to play a series, and that's what makes it special. And it gives everybody, you're on the even playing field. You know, everybody at the Sweet 16 0-0, and all the teams there wants to win 4 games, and that's what makes it so great.
And also, you've got an extra fan looking down at you too from up above, as I know BB's watching you. Yeah. Every step. He's hoping that you guys can make that march.
Yeah, I know what he would be saying right now. You know, do the things you do and do them well, and you'll have opportunity to win.
Yep, that's exactly what he would say. Well, Coach, you will play Thursday morning at 11 a.m. You'll play North Laurel. Then the winner will play the winner of Lawrence County and Montgomery County, and they play at 1:30. Coach, again, congratulations. What a job you did with this team. Listen, everything you had to go through, in the end, it all paid off, and you deserve to be down there. You deserve to be down there playing, and I can't wait to see this game. I told you, this is going to be my favorite game of the tournament. I think it's going to be an instant classic. I think it's going to be one of those that you won't forget.
I hope it is. And, I'm hoping we come out on top and have an opportunity to move on and advance.
I know you got a huge crowd probably going to Jackson, so there'll probably be nobody left to Jackson.
Yeah. The fans there are great. You know, they travel well, and I'm expecting a section of Rupp-Arena to be blue, and they're really passionate fans there in Breathitt County about their sports.
I know one thing: nothing but mountain teams on Thursday, so that's going to be a huge crowd down there in Rupp-Arena. So you talk about a sellout; they'll probably sell out that session.
I guarantee it. You know, that's there's nothing like, everybody is blue bloods back here in the mountains, and they love their basketball.
Yep. Coach, congratulations on everything you've done with your team. Good luck to you guys down there this week, and we will be rooting you on.
Thank you, CJ. Appreciate it as always, and hope to get back on the show soon, and hopefully be talking about the good things we did.
Yep. There's nothing but good times here, Coach. Always glad to have you. Thank you. Good luck to you guys.
Bye.
Coach Jeff Honeycutt of the Breathitt County Bobcats as they get set to play North Laurel in a game that I think is going to be the best game of the whole entire tournament, especially as far as this individual games. I feel like there's too much ability in this game, and I'm looking forward to it. Austin Sperry versus North Laurel's defense, North Laurel's 3-point shooting versus Breathitt County's defense. Let's see who wins out. It's going to be so good. Looking forward to it as well. Going to be joined by Mackenzie in just a moment. She'll 9:30. She's going to join us about 15 minutes. Let me go over this bracket with you real quick so that everybody can know what's going on this week. Wednesday afternoon at 11 a.m., game number 1. It will be Adair County. We'll be battling Bowling Green. And in the 1:30 game, it'll be St. X versus Jeffersontown. At 6 p.m., it'll be Danville Christian versus South Oldham. And then in the nightcap, it'll be a barn burner, Ashland Blazer versus Callaway County. That'll be at 8:30. Game 1 on Thursday, it'll be North Laurel Jaguars and the Breathitt County Bobcats at 11 a.m. At 1:30, it'll be Lawrence County, Chandler Thompson and the Running Bulldogs. They'll play Montgomery County at 1:30. At 6 o'clock in the evening session, it'll be Great Crossing versus Davies County. And then the final game of the first round, Cooper will battle Henderson County at 8:30. The quarterfinals will be on Friday at 11, 1:30, 6 and 8:30, with the semifinals at 11 and 1:30 on Saturday morning, with the championship game set for 7:30 on Saturday night down in Rupp Arena at Lexington, Kentucky. So again, I want to congratulate all of our mountain schools: Lawrence County, Breathitt County, North Laurel, and Danville Christians. We covered the 12th region. Of course, Danville Christian, the defending Class A state champions. They're going for something that we often don't see a Pete to win both the big trophy and the All-A trophy. So we'll see if they can get that accomplished as well. Kentucky advances on to the Sweet 16. They'll battle Tennessee next Saturday or Friday, probably. Oh, no, they'll probably play Friday. I would say they'll be the late game Friday night. That ain't come out yet. That won't come out until tomorrow, so we'll find out. I was going to update you on some other scores from those other games that's going on right now. The UK women, unfortunately, did not make it to the Sweet 16. They were defeated in overtime by Kansas State, 80-79. But what a great first year for Kenny Brooks and his ladies. They got a great recruiting class coming in. They got to be excited about that. Of course, the Cats did win today, 84-75. Big output, big offensive day for the Cats. Had several people in double figures. Actually, while we're thinking about it, let me go to the box score here. Let me tell you who Kentucky was led scoring by. Let's see. They were led by Odie. He had, Bria had 23. Butler had 14. Owie had 15. They got 10. They got 20 points off their bench today. That's huge because Trent had 4, Amaro had 5, Garrison had 5, and Chandler had 6. So that was big for them. Trent played 8 minutes today. That was really good in the win over Illinois, who advanced on. Games that are still in progress. It's Iowa State losing to Ole Miss right now, 40-29 there at the half. New Mexico State leading Michigan State, 22-14. There was about 9:17 to go in the first half. Florida finished off UConn earlier today, 77-75. Duke, no problem with Baylor, 89-66. Alabama finally got rid of St. Mary's, 80-66. Maryland, they were down 11 points in the second half, come back and beat Colorado State 72-71. And then there's one game left to go, and that is Oregon and Arizona. It will start in about 25 minutes as well. And if you're a Reds fan, they won their exhibition game, spring training game today, beating the Guardians 13-2. I believe the Reds open up the season this coming Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Now, let me see when. Oh, I think opening day is Thursday. Let's see. The Reds play the Giants. Yeah, they'll open up against the Giants on Thursday. Then I don't think they play again until Saturday. You got a series with the Giants, so they'll opening day Thursday. They play the Giants in San Francisco or at Cincinnati. Going to be joined by Mackenzie in just a little bit. Again, let's go to the girls' tournament from the past week. The scores in that tournament, Wednesday games. It was Frederick Douglass 48, Simon Kenton 39. It was George Rogers Clark 64, Franklin Simpson 42. It was North Laurel 51, Ashland 42, Taylor County 53, Knott County Central 35, Cooper 70, Mercer 45, Danville Christian 53, Davies County 40, Henderson County 45, Marshall County 30, Sacred Heart 71, Johnson Central 25. It was Danville Christian in the quarterfinals beating Henderson County 60-55. Frederick Douglass beat Taylor County 61-53. George Rogers Clark beat North Laurel 50-42. And then it was Sacred Heart beating Cooper 78-61. In the semifinals, and Saturday morning, it was George Rogers Clark beating Frederick Douglass 75-52. Sacred Heart beat Danville Christian 60-44. And in the championship game to win their fourth straight state title, Sacred Heart beat George Rogers Clark 65-60 in the championship game. So, get you set for the boys coming up this Wednesday. Rupp Arena, you can hear every single game of the boys Sweet 16 on WSGS Power 101. You'll have to also tune in because UK still playing. UK and the Sweet 16 might be on different stations. They may have to use WJMD or something like that. So tune in, find out. You can join them all week down there at Rupp Arena. I don't know who's going to be down there. I would expect a lot of the crew you've seen doing games this year. So who's ever down there, support them. WSGS Power 101. The whole entire tournament, you can hear it on WSGS. They've been doing the Sweet 16 for over 60-plus years. And that is nothing more. The greatest show in hoops on WSGS Power 101. Want to remind everybody, too, that you can also watch the boys' Sweet 16 state basketball tournament on Prep Spin. Check that out as well. Or if you have a NFHA account, you can watch the tournament there as well. So, got a lot going on. We're going to be joined by Mackenzie in just a little bit. If for some reason she forgets and doesn't come, then I will probably end the show just a little bit early. Next week, we'll remind everybody, we're going to have a review show. We're going to review football, basketball, volleyball. We're going to review them all, go over everything. But we're also going to try to give you an idea who's going to be good in football, who we're looking at in football, and then maybe a little bit look early at basketball in the mountains, so we have an idea of who are watching. I want to thank, we've had a lot of people comment tonight. I want to thank everybody that's watched. You guys have been tremendous. Christopher, you want to call me back? You can. I'm sorry I didn't get your phone call. You were doing, I was talking to Coach, and it's hard to take a phone call when I'm right in the middle of talking to Coach. If you want to call me back, you can. Guys, leave you in comments. You guys done really great. I appreciate that. So looking forward to that. Armando, I think, was down in Lexington covering the women's team. Is Mackenzie's the reason why she's coming on, and we love having Mackenzie on the show. So looking forward to that. Let's see. Let me go to my notes here. I don't think I've forgotten much. Want to remind everybody too. AMW Wrestling. Let me talk a little bit about that in a minute. We're doing a lot of shows. You don't forget, every Tuesday night you can watch AMW Sunday Showdown. Episode number 4 is getting set to air this coming Sunday, 7 p.m. You can watch some good wrestling. Great card. You'll enjoy yourself. It's on YouTube. Go to the AMW YouTube page. Go subscribe, and they'll let you know when an episode of AMW Wrestling is coming up and let you know when you can watch it. Also, getting ready for the biggest show, one of the biggest shows of the year, AMW's Weekend of Champions, coming up on Saturday, April 12th, 7 p.m. bell time, Breathitt County High School. We are going to be at the Breathitt County High School, and it's going to be a fundraiser, I think, for the basketball team. So, looking forward to that. Let's see. Also, we're going to have I've got a couple of house shows I want to tell you about. AMW is going to be in McKee at Jackson County High School on April the 17th, 7 p.m. bell time. We're going to be May 2nd. We're going to be at Fleming Neon High School at the middle school there for another house show, 7 p.m. bell time. And then we're going to have a Saturday edition of AMW Showdown at Hazard High School on May 17th. That'll also be I think that'll be a 6 o'clock bell time there as well. So if you want to know anything about AMW Wrestling, go to AMW Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, or go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. You can check everything out AMW Wrestling. Now joining me is my good friend, Mackenzie Fortney. Mackenzie, welcome. Got a lot to talk about.
Hello. Yes.
First of all, I'm going to correct something. Freeman. I don't know why I said Fortney. I don't. Correct.
Sorry.
No, that's my bad. I can't read sometimes. But let's get into it. Let's start with UK. Then we'll get into the high school last. The men, nice win. Solid 12-point win. Good win. We'll break it down. Let's start with the women. That was the strangest ending to it. What was he doing?
Honestly, I think it was just an evenly matched game. I think Kansas State, they had a couple of good bigs. And then Poindexter for them, she just went off. She had all of her points were off of 3-pointers. She had 8 threes. I didn't think the women looked bad. Clara Strack, she played a great game. Georgia Amores.
I didn't understand their last possession. Why are they shooting?
Yeah, but with 3 seconds left, you give Amore the ball, she takes it, right down to the bucket, and it just doesn't go in. You can't really control that. You gave it to your leading scorer, and it just didn't go in. It was just a heartbreaking finish for them.
But I want to go back to the 3 threes they shot before. When they had 17.7, they didn't really need a 3.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they actually tried to score that quick. When you have 17 seconds, once it gets down to maybe 10 seconds, I could understand taking a 3 then. But even then, you don't want to give Kansas State, who has been shooting lights out in the game, you don't want to give them a chance with the ball. So I would have just gone for a last-second shot.
Good year for the women. This is a building block because the women, we don't talk much about the women. We've talked about them all year. Kenny Brooks' first year, what kind of grade would you give him?
He was coach of the year. I think you have to give him an A. I think he did a fantastic job in his first season. He's in the SEC with programs like LSU, South Carolina, even Tennessee, who's not obviously on the greatest run in history, but you've got a hard conference, and for them to secure a double bye in the SEC and secure and host in the NCAA tournament, I think that's all you can ask for. Yeah,
in your first year. In
your first year. So I'd have to give him an A.
And he's got the number 2 or 3 recruiting class coming in, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So unbelievable. And he's got most of this team coming back, right?
Yeah, I believe Clara Strack's coming back. Trying to think who else. I think Tiana Key's coming back. I think she's a junior.
And then they had a couple that were injured that didn't even play this year, right? So that would really help them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Big things on the horizon for the women. All right.
Absolutely.
Let's get to the men look good. 2 solid wins. They haven't had to really do a whole. They haven't been real good early in the game, but you don't want to be good early because
not about how you start; it's about how you finish.
And they finish strong.
Exactly.
Both times, Illinois and Troy, they've outscored the opponents. Somebody said like 35-11.
Wow,
that's combined. So that's big. I mean, the win today felt good for 2 reasons. People's going to keep their mouths closed about John Calipari making it to the Sweet 16 where Kentucky did make it. Because there's a lot of talk about, hey, I made it. And Kentucky, listen, if they had the one kid that got hurt, I would have put Kentucky in the Final 8, maybe in the Final 4.
Mm-hmm.
But now the game, you're playing Tennessee for a 3rd time. And I know that we played Tennessee very well, but we're due for an egg against them because, and anytime you get 2 of the same conference teams playing each other, this can be very chaotic.
It can be. Tennessee's been an interesting team this year because they've won, they've won enough to get them, a top seed, or not like a number 1 seed, but you know what I mean, a high seed. Kentucky, they've dropped some games here and there that they really shouldn't have. And again, like you said, it's their 3rd time facing each other. I think the good thing for Kentucky is their defense has been an issue all year, and in their last 5 games or so, their defense has been dominant. I mean, you look at their defense today, 14 steals, 26 points off of turnovers. They just, in the last 2 games for sure, they've looked dominant. Tennessee, they've gotten their wins, but they can be a little streaky every now and then.
And Tennessee's got to be licking their chops. They're like,
oh yeah,
Kentucky with a chance to knock them out. Oh God, it's
yeah. I mean, for Tennessee, if it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, Tennessee, Kentucky, you beat us in the regular season, but when it matters and your season's on the line, are you gonna pull through?
Yep.
And it's gonna be an interesting game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's. I think the game's definitely going to be within 10. I can't tell you who's really going to win because Kentucky has honestly looked better in these last 2 games than I thought they would have, especially after losing how they did to Alabama. I don't think anyone had them losing that bad, but these last 2 games, I think they've really come together. Having Lamont Butler back has been huge. And even today against Illinois, when Otega Owe had 2 fouls in the first half, Kobe Brea showed up and he had a fantastic game. 23 points, I believe, and then 5 or 6 steals.
20 bench points today. Reason why they won.
Yeah,
and we talked
absolutely.
They talked about that on one of the KSR postgame shows. How if Kentucky's bench gives them anything, they're going to win.
Right.
Because Trent gave them. They got 20 points off the bench. Trent played 8 minutes and had 4 points. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the interesting thing about the Tennessee and Kentucky matchup, besides it being their 3rd time going against each other this season, is both teams are relatively deep when you look at their bench. Tennessee, you obviously have your starters, but then you have Gainey coming off the bench. You have Cade Phillips coming off the bench. You have guys who are making plays on both teams off the bench for both of these teams in this matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be. Now, I don't know this because they won't make no decisions till in the morning. But I about guarantee the Kentucky-Tennessee game is going to be a 9:30 tip. you would almost guarantee it's going to be the late game.
It'll either be the late game or it'll be like a 7 o'clock tip for prime time because it's
I don't think so. I think they're going to make it the big game.
You think it'll be the late game?
I think it'll be the 9:30 tip, and I think it'll be, and I think they'll play Friday night because I don't think because if you get Kentucky on a Sunday playing or Tennessee on a Sunday, I forgot who's the 1 and 2 seed in that region.
I want to say
take Houston and
Houston. No. Yeah, Houston.
And I can't remember the 2.
Tennessee's the 2, and then Kentucky's the
3.
3.
So who's the other team? Who's Houston play? I forgot who they play. Because they got the winner.
Is it Alabama that they'll play?
Well, the brackets are not fixed yet because the games are not over with yet because they still got one more game left. It's not starting. So yeah, I almost guarantee they'll be the Friday night 9:30 game because that's one of your bigger games of the entire of the Sweet 16. You need that in your late block.
Right. Keep the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. College basketball's great. We love it, but we've got let's talk about our girls teams and we'll get into the boys. Girls have done okay down there. I didn't expect a whole lot. North won a game. Not and Johnson Central probably had the biggest uphill battle.
Johnson Central just had a tough draw. I mean, you're going against Zakiah Johnson and Sacred Heart, who's won the state tournament. Now 4 times in a row entering this year. Yeah. They ended up going on and winning state. So you lost to the state champions in the first round. I hate to say this, but it was kind of expected. Just the size difference of both teams. And North in their second round loss, I don't think they necessarily played a bad game. They missed a couple of shots because I was at that game.
They were down 1. They were down 1 with about 5 minutes to go.
Yeah,
they missed back-to-back threes, and George Rogers Clark goes down, hits back-to-back threes, puts the game away, knocks the free throws. But but that's what you wanted. Coach Meehan talked about that after the game. He said, "A bucket here, a bucket there. We're right there where we want to be. We just couldn't finish it."
And George Rogers Clark, they really just had an answer for when North Laurel got back in the game. Then someone on George Rogers Clark would, end the run with a clutch shot. And then I feel like that kind of ate at the momentum in the fourth quarter because I thought North Laurel played fantastic defense in that second half, especially once they got down a little bit. I think they were down by 8 or something, and then they kind of reeled it back in. Their defense got a couple of stops, forced a couple of turnovers, and like you said, they bring it back within 1 point. Just couldn't close it out.
How was your first Sweet 16?
It was fun. First time in Rupp Arena too, so it was really cool to see Rupp Arena for the first time.
Yeah, I was excited for you. I thought that I ain't talked to Armando in a while, but I was going to tell him. I said that she probably had a lot of fun. Now he'll be doing the boys, right? Are you going to?
So since we do sports overtime on Fridays, I'll probably be at the Friday games because that's what we did with the girls. He was there for the Thursday games, and I was there for the Friday games.
Well, everybody plays Thursday to start off, but we're going to have a mountain team playing Friday. So
right.
Let's get into the boys tournament. But one final thing on the girl. 4 straight state titles for Sacred Heart. That's unheard of. But that just tells you what kind of program Sacred Heart is. But it tells you George Rogers Clark put up a great fight. They had Sacred Heart on the ropes. Sacred Heart had to really work hard to win that game. Ended up being a 65-60 game, and but hats off to Sacred Heart. You win 4 in a row.
It's interesting too because you look at North Laurel's loss to George Rogers Clark, and then you look at how George Rogers Clark dominated Frederick Douglass in the round after that, and you almost wonder if North Laurel beat George Rogers Clark if they would have made it to the championship game.
I think they could have. I think they could have got there.
I really think they could have.
It could have been a Harlan County story again. We could have seen. Yeah, okay. All right. So the girls had a good tournament. You were there. The only other question I have is somebody said attendance was down some. Was it pretty good attendance? Was there a lot of people there or what?
For the North Laurel game, I thought, people showed up.
What about overall? What about overall crowd?
Overall crowd, I do think attendance was down a little bit for some of the other games I went and watched. Especially that Danville Christian game. It was not, or Danville Christian versus Henderson County. That game, I felt like the attendance could have been a little bit more.
Yeah, that was a close game too. Danville Christian won by 5. That was a big win for them. Okay, now let's get to the boys. I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm pumped. Listen, I just got done talking to 3 of the 5 coaches. I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Thompson because he's been a busy man. Couldn't get a hold of him.
Oh, yeah.
And I did not get a chance to talk with Danville Christian's head coach either. But this is a tournament where, on paper, we're at least guaranteed a mountain team in the quarterfinals for the second straight year. And possibly we may get a team in the semifinals because, I'll be honest, Montgomery County is a good team. Lawrence County, let's break it down this way. Lawrence County had to do what McGoffin County did last year. Win a super regional to even be in this tournament. Because they lost to the district. So if there had been no super regional, we would not be talking about Lawrence County now. We'd probably be talking about Martin County or somebody else.
Well, I mean, the thing about the 15th region is there's just been, I think Armando told me, like, the 5 seed or the 5th ranked team in the preseason won the last 2 years. And then going into this, Lawrence County was the 6th ranked team in the preseason poll, and they ended up pulling the win. So there's been a lot of parity with that.
Well, it tells you what the super regional does. It just makes basketball much better. But okay, now I know we have no mountain teams playing, or Danville Christian plays on Wednesday. They're not really a mountain team, but we pay attention to them because they're in the 12th region.
Right.
But we got a lot of powerhouse teams playing on Wednesday. You got Ashland, who we pay attention to. They play Callaway County, and Callaway County is very, very, very good. They're 32-2, and they got 2 Division I kids, and size everywhere. You got Bowling Green, who plays in Darryl County. Then you got the matchup everybody's wanting to see at 1:30, St. X and Jeffersontown, and then later in the evening, South Oldham plays Danville Christian. Now, I feel like this is the tough bracket. This is tough man's bracket here. Then we're going to go to Thursday, and I call this the finesse bracket.
Yeah.
There's a lot of finesse in this bracket. Can you sit here and tell me, honestly, that you had North Laurel and Breathitt playing at 11 a.m. In the boys' Sweet 16?
Not North Laurel. I think Breathitt County, with as many times as they played Hazard, I thought once they made it to the region championship, I think it was Breathitt's game to take. Just because it's hard to beat a team, 4 times? 5 times? Exactly. So I think Breathitt County, it was their game to take in the championship. But North Laurel, I did not expect.
This is my favorite game of the tournament.
Mine too.
This is my favorite. I mean, this game right here, I don't care about not. I mean, I like watching them. This game right here gives me chill bumps because I like both guys, Coach Honeycutt and Coach Valentine. They got kids that play hard and work hard. You're going to see this. This may be an instant classic.
Yeah.
And North Laurel, and I'm going to throw a seed at you. I'm going to throw something at you. North Laurel's a team that I think if there's a Mountain Classic next year, they need to be invited because they got everybody coming back. They only got 2. They only got 1 senior.
Yep.
And they played the tournament a long time ago, and I would love to see them in the Mountain Classic. But this is going to be a fun. These 2 games on Thursday are going to be so much fun. You got North and Breathitt at 11, and then Lawrence County, Montgomery County at 1:30. Now let's go. I'm going to go to the Lawrence County game first. Lawrence County shot the ball very well in the region, and we know Montgomery County had to bank in a 3 to win against George Rogers Clark, who a lot of people felt that controlled that region all year. What's Lawrence County got to do to beat Montgomery County?
I talked to Coach Thompson Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember, just because this week has been crazy with March Madness and all that other stuff going on. And he said he felt like his team rebounded really well in the region tournament. And he said, we know Montgomery County, they have some size. They've got some really athletic guys. He said we have to rebound like we did in the region to give us a chance. He said those boards are going to matter so much to us because we can get a lot of momentum off of those rebounds. So, I mean, I think he's right in that. And I think you're going to have to shoot the ball well. I mean, obviously, once you get to the Sweet 16, every team can shoot. So it's going to be a matter of who can shoot better, you know.
You're nervous. You've not been there before playing. Sometimes you don't know how to react.
Right.
Last year we appreciate to play McGough County. That was sort of the fill around for about 2.5 quarters, and then McGough County started hitting. They hit a big shot to take the lead. Perry couldn't find that, but they got good looks. This ball wouldn't fall in the basket. This is the same type of game here because this is something you got to come out. You can't get frustrated early if things don't go well for you. You got to go. You got to get by that first couple of hurdles. If you don't, then it could avalanche on you. You go plumb out the door. And so
Absolutely.
That's what they got to really figure. All right, the morning's first game, Breathitt County, North Laurel. Listen, I think I'll be honest. North Laurel's a better defensive team than Breathitt. Breathitt to win, you got to have Austin doing the things he did in the region. Yep. If he does those things, Breathitt can win. But I think North defensively will guard him better, and I don't think you'll see him get 30. But I think he'll get points.
Mm-hmm.
But his teammates are really going to have to help him in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right about North Laurel defensively. I think seeing what they did against South Laurel and in the region tournament, me and Armando actually not necessarily argued, but debated about this game a lot because you look at North Laurel and they have Reese Davidson, they have Jordan Rawlings, who are kind of their two leading scorers. But then you look at Breathitt, and Austin Sperry is this athletic, once every blue moon type of player. And so it's one of those games where I think as far as height and as far as matchups goes, I think North Laurel defensively can handle, not necessarily hold him to. I think North Laurel can handle Austin Sperry. I think Sperry's still going to get his points. My concern for Breathitt County is can Terry get his points? Because Terry, he's strong and that helps in these mountain matchups. But then North Laurel, they've got the size to handle Terry, in my opinion. But again, it's March. Anything can happen, especially between these two teams who I think kind of play a different style of play, and we'll see two clashing styles going at it.
And we've not had the 14th region win a game in a long time.
Yeah.
So, and the 13th's not won their last 3 attempts down there.
Yeah, I was talking to
McGough County last year, being from the 15th. They might. Let's see. Harlan didn't win. Harlan got the finals last year. So yeah, but I mean, I know North's been there twice with Reed, and they didn't win neither game they played. And Breathitt was down there year before last, and they didn't win that game either. So
yeah, I was talking to Coach Valentine, and he said he's hoping the third time's the charm. He said he's confident in his squad this year. After they won the championship, I talked to him too, and he said, you know, there's a lot of trust within his group, as well as the families that are rooting on these kids. So he really thinks that this will be the third time's the charm for them.
And you talk about a crowd going to be down there Thursday morning.
Oh yeah,
you got all 3 mountain teams playing with Montgomery County. They may have a sellout just in the morning session. I look for the big sellout in about every session, but especially when the mountain teams, all 3 of them playing at the same time. let me see how many people down there. The ice cream people will have to fill up the machine 5 times.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun tournament. I don't want to pick nobody because I don't want, I just want to talk about the matchups because I don't. But I want to wish all our mountain teams good luck down there. I hate when our mountain teams play each other, but we are guaranteed a mountain team in the quarterfinal, so that's a good thing. So that's going to be good as well. One couple more things I'm going to let you go. Baseball, softball got started.
Yep.
We're off to a running start. Just what I've seen this week. I've been trying to keep up with some scores and stuff, and I know you guys will hit that probably a little harder here after the Sweet 16 and stuff, but it's fun to be outside and see a little softball and baseball.
Sorry, what'd you say? It lagged for a second.
I said it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a lot of fun to get out and do some softball and baseball for you guys to get some of the teams, see who's some of the better teams.
Yeah, I went to North Laurel's softball opening game against Leslie County, and that they looked fantastic.
Yeah, they got a chance to win it because they were the runner up. They were the runner up last year in the state tournament, so they got a chance to win. I don't know who's going to be with me next week, you or Armando, but it's my final show of season 5. We're going to have a review. So got homework here. I want you to think about some of your top football teams for next year. Teams you're looking forward to seeing with new realignment. Okay. And then I'm gonna put together during the week a top 5 preseason basketball in each region, 12 through 15. Now I know things happen, transfers, injuries during the summer, stuff like that. I know all this happens. So what we say now probably won't be close to what we get to when we get later next year, when we come back next year. But we just want to get an idea of what we're thinking about because I want to see how many seniors teams have, who's got a lot of returning players, who looks like a contender maybe next year in both football, basketball, and then we can talk a little more baseball. And hopefully we'll have UK in that'll be Sunday. So hopefully they'll be going to the Final Four. Hopefully they'll be playing Sunday. We will see. But if Armando, if Kentucky's playing, so I don't know who with me, but whichever one of you are, I'm excited. I'd like to have you both actually on the show for next week, being a review, because we can review a lot of stuff. So we may just do that.
All right.
Mackenzie, thank you so much for being with me. You have a safe trip if you go down. I figured you'll have to go down, probably film a game or two. So enjoy yourself, and I will talk to you next Sunday.
All righty. You have a good one too, CJ.
You have a good one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Freeman from WYMT. She gets set to go down to do the boys' Sweet 16. All righty, let's go ahead and get out of here. I want to thank everybody that watched the show. Now, you guys have been really great up here. I've been noticing the eyeballs. I've still got 8 people watching, guys. That's tremendous. Thank you for the comments. Great comments. Christopher, I'm so sorry you called. Didn't get to your phone call. Call me back next week, please. Call me back, and I'll get your phone call. I want to thank everybody that was on the show tonight. I want to thank Coach Bonner, Coach Valentine, Coach Honeycutt, and Mackenzie for all being with me here tonight. I want to remind everybody we'll be with you next Sunday night for the season finale of the CJ Howard Sports Talk Show, episode number 24, and the season finale. We're going to have a review of the year. Supposed to have Tanner with me for my co-host. Don't know my guest list yet. I'm going to work on that tomorrow. So I know that the ones I want to get might not be where I need them to be, so we may have to go with a different look. So we're going to have a review. We're going to review football, basketball, volleyball, all the sports that were on the horizon being played, and looking forward to that. The season finale next for next Sunday night, 8 o'clock here on the CJ Howard Show. Also, want to remind you guys, go to Facebook and get to my sports page. I want you to CJ Howard Talk sports page. I want you to like it, share it, and share it with your family and friends. Want you to go to my YouTube page. Want you to go up there and subscribe and help me build my YouTube page. Follow me on TikTok as well. Again, I'll be back with you Sunday night for the season finale of the CJ Howard Sports Talk Show. This is CJ Howard, running third, heading for home. As Casey Kasem would say, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars. Love you all. God bless you, and good night.